Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to refill number 200 ink cartridges for Epson Expression Home XP200, XP300, XP310, XP400, XP410, Workforce 2530, 2540. First of all, I need to say that these are not genuine Epson OEM ink cartridges. However, please note these are number 200 refillable cartridges. They will only work for the above mentioned printer models. Again, it's XP400, XP410, XP200, XP300, XP310, Workforce 2530, 2540. These will not work in printers that require number 220 ink cartridges, such as Epson Expression XP420, Workforce 2630, 2650, 2660, 2750, 2760. If you are looking for number 220 ink cartridges, sorry we don't have them yet. Okay, these are refillable ink cartridges specifically designed to replace original or OEM Epson number 200 ink cartridges. They are not made by Epson, but they are fully compatible with the above mentioned printer models. The original OEM Epson ink cartridges are not designed to be refillable, so if you attempt to refill it, most likely you will fail because you need to drill holes into each cartridge, and then they probably will leak ink into your printer and ruin your printer. Please do not attempt to fill original or OEM Epson cartridges by yourself. It can only be done by professionals who know what they are doing. Don't even try it yourself. Now let me introduce our refillable ink cartridges to you. These are designed from ground up to be refilled by everyday person. There's no need to drill. All you have to do is to remove the plug right here and inject ink into the filling hole. Then plug the filling hole with the plug that comes with the cartridges. These cartridges does not have internal sponge, so you don't need to worry about air bubbles or air pockets that trapped in the sponge. There is an innovative air venting system that prevents ink from leaking. This is the air venting system. You can see some structures down in this area. And this is the air venting hole and the plug. The ink will flow smoothly from the cartridge into the printer due to this air pressure regulator, the air pump. If you don't, you need to remove these air venting plugs before you install these cartridges into your printer. If you don't, no ink will come out of the cartridge, so nothing will get printed. So you need to remove these white plugs and save them for later use. But be careful, these plugs are not child safe. It's a choking hazard. So if you do keep them, make sure your children will not get access to them. Now, we need to prepare a space where we can fill these cartridges. It's recommended that you put some paper towels on the table in case you do some like spill or something. And we also recommend that you wear gloves to prevent the ink from staining your hands. The ink is not toxic, but it will not come off easily once you stain your hand. There are 4 bottles of inks, and each bottle has 100 milliliters of ink. Each cartridge takes about 10 milliliters of ink, so that means these inks will be good enough for 40 cartridges. So each color will be refilled 10 times with the ink in the bottle. So just think that each cartridge in the office store costs about 15 to 28 bucks. Now you have 40 cartridges, equivalent of 40 cartridges only cost you under $30. That each cartridge costs less than $1 to refill. And also, you can buy bulk ink from now on. The bulk ink only costs, each bottle costs about $4. So if you buy like 4 bottles, it only costs you $16 and equivalent of 40 ink cartridges. Now let's take a closer look at the ink cartridge we have. This is a black cartridge, and this is a label, and this is a transparent side panel. You can look through it and see how much ink actually are inside. Now it's empty. And this is a smart chip. And the printer reads how much ink is in the cartridge by reading the chip. Also, it sees what type of cartridge it is. And this chip is auto-resettable. So once the printer thinks the ink is depleted, you just simply take it out and then reinsert it into the printer. The printer will read the cartridge as full. But also you need to fill the ink so that there's actually ink in there. So now let's see how you fill it. Just for example, let's use the black cartridge. First, you unscrew the cap from the ink bottle. And then you see this is a seal, aluminum seal, that covers the top. You just open the seal by pressing down the cap, the sharp end of the cap. So now the seal is broken. Okay, now you use a syringe. We include one syringe in this order, so you first use the syringe to draw about 10 milliliter of ink. Okay, that's about 10 milliliter of ink. Now you screw back the cap. So if this bottle falls, the ink will not spill. Now this is the black plug is the filling plug. You need to pull it, pull a tab, it will open, and then you just insert the needle into the hole and quickly and smoothly inject the ink. See, after 10 milliliter of ink, you still have like a little bit of space on top. That's okay. You don't want to fill it all the way up. Okay, now this is the tricky part. You need to press down the black black plug to make sure that it is airtight. If it is not airtight, the ink might leak when you install into the printer. So you need to press it down hard here and make sure that it is airtight. If you turn this over, you see there's a plastic film covering the ink nozzle. And you don't need to do anything about it, because when you install the cartridge into your printer, your printer will puncture the seal. So you don't need to puncture it yourself. Now all you have to do is to remove this. It says do not remove, but you need to remove it. You need to remove this air venting plug. You can either throw this away or save it for later use. And then you just need to install it into your printer. Make sure you press it down here, insert it into the slot, and press down here hard until you hear a click. If it's not securely installed, the printer will probably not recognize this cartridge. So as you see, it takes about 10 seconds to fill this black cartridge. Each of the color cartridges is the same. You just unscrew the bottle and fill it. And before you fill the color cartridges, you need to rinse the syringe to make sure there's no residual black ink that contaminate the color ink. All you have to do is take this syringe under a sink, and when the water is flowing, you draw this cylinder back and forth, and to rinse the inside and also the needle to make sure there's no black ink is left. Only maybe like 30 seconds of rinse would be good. And then you push all the water out and dry with a paper towel, and it's ready for the next fill. Okay guys, that's it. That's how easy it is to fill these cartridges. If you want to check it out, please go to www.inkrefillable.com, and the link to this item is www.inkrefillable.com/200 WINK. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a successful DIY ink filling. Thank you.